It's another episode of Refried Scene.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, indeed. I'm one of your hosts, Seed, and you are.
I am Carol the cat.
How are you doing today, Carol?
I'm good. I'm a little bit tired.
Yeah.
I'm realizing I'm a bit too old for the concert scene.
No. There's no such thing as being too old to enjoy good music, man. When it's
That's
live.
true. That's true.
Yeah.
That is true. So I'll put up with the tiredness and
go.
talk about Jason Voorhees.
Because that can make one very tired if they're running from said Jason Voorhees.
I don't know.
He's going to catch you eventually.
He's going to catch you eventually because he can teleport.
Yeah, that's very, very true. Honestly, if they're like, hey, he's out there killing people, I was like, oh, just let him come then. Just
whatever. Yeah, I can't get away from him. So
use these last few minutes to call people I love and put my affairs in order.
which some of the people in these movies do. They just stand there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why am I trying to die out of breath and exhausted? That's not how I'm trying to go out. No. I'm like Jason, just give me a little bit. Let me finish this bottle of Makers.
There we go. Okay.
And
Bring on the machete.
Bring it on, man. You want some? But we start with Friday the 13th, part 2.
Yeah, because when we decided to do Friday the 13th, I realized that the reboot is technically a reboot of Friday the 13th, part 2.
Yeah.
Because Friday the 13th, part 1 does not involve Jason. It's one of 2 Friday the 13th movies that does not involve Jason Voorhees.
Oh, there's a second one out there.
Yeah, I think 5. It's actually somebody pretending to be Jason.
Is it somebody with the whole big Jason stature and frame?
No, well, only in scenes where he's Jason.
Oh, now I'm very interested in this movie.
It's not a terrible film. It's just at the very end you realize it's not Jason. And every time I watch that film, I just envision Jason off to the side going, but that's my job. I have one job in this damn camp.
He's got a clipboard. He's just like, failed.
God,
No.
You're terrible at this.
Doing
Let me
this all.
do my thing.
Yeah, let me show you how it's done, Junior.
But they brought back Jason after that because they realized that Friday the 13th isn't really Friday the 13th without Jason
Not
Voorhees.
without Jason Voorhees.
No.
Now, this is amongst the run of 80s slasher films.
Oh, yeah.
This was what the 80s were heavy in, was
Yes.
slasher type joints.
Yes,
It's
as Roger Ebert called them, dead teenager movies.
that's exactly what they are.
Although none of these people are teenagers. They're very obviously 20-somethings pretending to be teenagers.
Yeah. So in the slashers, we had your Voorheeses, your Freddys, your Mike Myers.
Mm-hmm.
How would you rank those?
I think
The movies.
the movies, I mean, if you're looking at single movies, Nightmare on Elm Street and Halloween are 2 better horror films. But as a franchise,
Yeah.
I think Friday the 13th is probably the most consistent.
Okay.
It never took itself seriously.
Right.
Halloween just went off the rails.
This is what I've heard. All of a sudden, Rob Zombie got his hands on it.
Oh, God. But, it just went off the rails and suddenly had cults and you had, Laurie Strode is his sister, and it's just like, okay, you're just not making any sense now.
Yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street just got more and more ridiculously funny because Freddy Krueger just became almost comic relief in his own films.
Right.
Friday the 13th, it was Jason Voorhees. He ran around a forest and he killed camp counselors. And you watch them to see how he would
Yeah,
kill
like what
them.
new ways is somebody getting
What
clapped
new
out?
ways could he actually kill these kids?
Yeah.
So Friday the 13th is probably the most consistent. It did get silly. I mean, you have Jason in space.
That's true. Very true. Yeah.
However, that had some pretty damn good
That's some
kills.
good deaths in there. Yeah. That'll do it.
Yeah. But yeah, so this is probably up there as far as consistency.
Okay.
But none of these films are good.
Very true.
I mean,
very true. You do watch them just throw it on, have a couple drinks, and laugh at how people die.
You watch part 4 just to watch Crispin Glover attempt to dance.
That in and of itself is a horror short within the movie.
You watch, and part 4 is to see little Corey Feldman back when he actually had a career. I know. Sad but true. But,
Corey Feldman, the new age Charlie Sheen.
Yeah. So I the Friday the 13th films are probably my guilty pleasure. Okay. If I'm gonna binge watch a horror franchise, these go on in the background because I can just look over and go machete to the head.
Now, do you plan on October rewatching any of these?
Probably not.
Do you have a set list? We'll talk about that during October.
Yeah.
All right then. So you want to get into this old Friday the 13th part 2 business?
Sure. So Friday the 13th part 2 came out in, what was it, 1981. So a year after Friday the 13th.
They started cranking these bad boys out.
Oh, yeah. They just realized, well, we can make these dirt freaking cheap and
cheap.
make a lot of money.
Jesus, a $1.25 million budget made $21 million.
Yeah. So It doesn't take
No
a whole lot
Paramount.
of money to kill a bunch of teenagers.
True. And Jason's like, just give me a rusty machete and let me go to work.
Buckets of blood. We're
Buckets
good.
of blood, yep.
Yeah. So this takes place just it starts just a couple months after the original film, where
Right.
Alice, who was your final girl from the first film,
Yes, she was. She leveled up to boss level.
yes,
At the end.
helpfully dreams the last 10 minutes of the first film.
So yeah, that was just her floating around in the lake, and then this boy coming up out of nowhere.
Yeah,
and-
that was that's probably one of the most effective jump scares ever filmed.
Okay.
Because
yeah.
you were not.
You're not
It's the
expecting that
first
at
time
all.
you watch Friday the 13th, the first film. That is completely out of the blue.
Yes, it is.
And it is actually quite frightening. But yeah, she dreams the last 10 minutes where she beheads Pamela Voorhees because it's Jason's mother who's the killer in the first film. And then she wakes up and goes about her routine, talks to her mom, takes a shower, puts on a kettle for some tea, goes for the refrigerator for some snacks, and there's Mrs. Voorhees' head in her refrigerator.
Yeah.
And
I have so many issues with this. Jason found his mom's head, and he was like, "This is going to be an effective distraction one of these days.
I'm going to keep it.
I'm good just in
And then he
case."
takes it from her apartment, too, because it shows up later on. So, and then Jason, of course, comes up behind her and kills her with an ice pick.
Ice pick to the
So your final
temples.
girl from
The first
the
one.
first movie dies in the first, 10 minutes of the second film.
That's kind of hurtful, man. It's
That
kinda
is,
hurtful.
that
Like, if you make it this far, Jason should have been like, "All right, she get off campgrounds. Good for her.
Yeah,
She's
we're going to
safe."
leave her alone.
Yeah.
But it does raise the question, how did he find her address? This is pre-Google.
Yeah, right. Have you seen this girl?
Did he call up? Yeah, there was camp counselor, the one that lived. She was great. Can I have her address?
Well, just every redhead in the city was just getting terrorized.
So the
sorry, it's not you.
Terminator style going
Yeah,
through the
redhead,
Alice, just
redhead,
killing
redhead.
all of the Alices. In the book.
Strange, didn't make
Eventually
the
I'll
news.
get her. Also begs the question, how did Mrs. Voorhees not know her kid was alive?
Yeah. Yeah. Like, where was Jason that whole time is my question.
I guess he was just living in the woods all...
All weird like.
It gets even worse in the reboot because I have major questions there. Here, it's just he just appears and kills Alice.
Yeah, some
And then
things don't ask questions
Yeah.
about.
And then we jump forward 5 years, and they're reopening the camp because not enough people have died. And I swear to you, I only remember 2 names from this film.
All right.
Paul, because Ginny yells Paul's name 500,000 times. And Ginny, because she's our final girl.
Yes. Right.
And Paul is opening this camp, and he's training counselors.
He's like the most earnest dude in this
know.
movie, too. Annoyingly earnest. Hey, guys, this
We're
is going to be
gonna
great.
do good. I remember you from camp 2 years ago, and you did great with those kids. He's just really
He's one of those.
gung ho about camp counseling.
Yeah.
And then you realize there's 20 people at this camp, and you're like, how's Jason gonna kill all these motherfuckers? He's got his work
Jason's
cut
looking
out.
like he's like, more showing
Oh
up?
my
Jesus
God.
Christ. My cardio's not up to date.
I really need to come up with some new and unique ways to kill these people. I only had 6 ways. But we whittle the cast down because Ginny shows up in her craptastical VW bug,
Indeed.
which is not going to start when she needs it to, of course.
They set that up early on.
Yeah, and we rather ham-fistedly get exposition that she is a child psychologist
Right.
or studying child psychology.
ham-fisted is
is
this whole movie.
yes, indeed. But
A lot of pork was in people's fists.
yes. The first victim we have in this poor film, though, is Ralph. Ralph is a holdover from Friday the 13th. He is the local town doomsayer who is...
Yeah.
In the first film, he was so funny because he would just follow them around. The camp's got a death curse.
If only they'd listened to Ralph
You're
in the first place.
doomed.
Yeah, crazy. I think he's actually in the credits as Crazy Ralph.
Crazy Ralph,
Yeah.
yes. Who's married because the cop says his wife's worried about him. I'm like, who the hell married Crazy Ralph?
Because she's the only person to recognize Ralph trying to help these kids. Yeah. I feel sorry for Crazy
yes.
Ralph's widow.
Ralph comes back and tells him again, you're doomed.
You're doomed.
You're doomed. And apparently just starts sneaking around the camp looking in windows, which, come on, Crazy Ralph, that's kind of creepy.
It's creepy, but with the purpose of trying to help
Trying to
these
help
kids.
them, but
And so, he get it was like barbed wire?
It was barbed wire. Yeah, Jason just
garroted him.
garroted him with barbed wire. I'm like, damn, Jason,
Jason's like,
you
"All right, that's
killed
one
the
off the
town
list."
crazy guy.
I feel like had Ralph survived this movie, And then Friday the 13th Part 3 happens. He'd have been like, fuck it. Look, I tried.
I tried.
I
You know,
tried.
you guys aren't listening to me. How many people have died now?
Had Ralph lived, he probably would have just gone on to become Jason himself.
I'll bring him here. You kill him. We'll figure it out.
We got a
We'll
whole
figure it
system
out.
going on.
We got a system. So, yeah, your first victim is Ralph.
I forgot about Ralph.
Yeah, poor Ralph. Your second victim, because basically you just go from victim to victim.
Yeah, pretty much.
Is the sheriff who comes looking for Ralph. Because
Yeah.
Ralph's wife is
Notably
worried about
concerned.
him. And
Yeah.
then the two of the camp counselors, and here's where names fail me because for me, they were wheelchair guy,
Yeah.
girl who wants to fuck wheelchair guy.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I'll stay here. I think I'll stay here too. Yeah.
Newsboy cap dude.
Newsies cap.
Newsboy cap dude's girlfriend.
Yeah, they're more archetypes. No, not even archetypes.
Yeah,
just
it's like-
physical features.
Girl with crop top and ponytail and dog.
Yeah.
And the guy who wants to bone ponytail.
I'm surprised that dude didn't open the account. It's like, welcome to Fuckfest 1984.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because, it's Friday the 13th. That's what they do. They fucking they die.
Yeah.
So that's the only cast here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And two, newsboy cap dude and his girlfriend. I should probably look up their names.
Nope. They're
No, they're
titles.
just Newsies,
Yeah.
Newsies and Newsies girl. They go looking for what they call Camp Blood, which is Camp Crystal Lake,
Crystal
because
Lake, yeah.
this actually doesn't take place at Camp Crystal Lake. It's adjacent to it.
Yeah, which I kind of thought was kind of cool in the remake, is they're across the lake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's just this lake just houses a
Fuck
bunch of
this lake.
this bunch of camps where people die.
Yeah.
But they go looking for Camp Blood, and
Mm-hmm.
they're found by the police department. It's like, you can't go there. Don't go there. And takes him back. It's like, they're trespassing. Don't let them go there.
Yeah.
And then he proceeds to go there.
Yeah, well, he's allowed to go. He's on the job. He's on the
He's
job.
chasing some guy with a burlap sack over his head because this is prior to Hockey Mask.
Yeah, he doesn't. Yeah, this is
He gets
prior
that in
to-
part 3.
Yeah.
So this is he's wearing a burlap sack.
I guess whatever's close at
I don't know
hand.
why. He lives in the forest. Nobody sees him. Why is he bothering?
Oh, well, maybe he doesn't until some kids show up and he's like, "Oh,
shit,
where's my sack
mask?
at? Let me put this on real
He's
quick.
at
I don't want them to
sack time.
identify me in any kind of way. What makes it out? They'll identify who I am. They'll come get me.
So the police officer chases him back to his lair because
His lair
he's
of
got
doom.
a lair of doom. Yeah, and then gets a hammer to the head because
Yeah, that one I was like, oh, okay. All right,
That was
well
a pretty
done.
decent one.
Hammers to the head.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then we whittle the cast down because Paul tells everybody, "Hey, go have a night on the town and
Yeah.
night in the town." So, like 15 of the camp counselors disappear.
And now you have your core deaths.
Right. And then Jason's like, "Oh, thank God."
Thank God. Refers to his clipboard. I can take a couple of these, save it for the next movie.
Okay, yeah, we can save these for part 7 and 8.
Want to go to Manhattan?
And then they just start dying one by one. The guy who wants to bone Ponytail Girl gets caught in it's like it's a rope trap. It's Bugs Bunny. It's
Jason's like, oh, thank God, my Acme order's here.
it's just like a big loop of rope. He steps in and gets strung up in a tree,
Done and done.
and it's like Looney Tunes. I'm
Looney Tunes
surprised
for
there's not like a
adults.
box with like a little camp counselor badge or something. It's like, oh hey.
I'm surprised after each one of these deaths, we just didn't hear dun 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 dun.
That's all, folks.
Jason just looks at the camera. Blah, 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 blah.
So he gets macheted
Yes.
in a very unfortunate way.
And unfortunately, right here, that's the last I saw. I think this is halfway in.
It's about halfway in, yeah,
Ish,
because
yeah.
the kills start coming pretty quick at this point.
Yeah. So, like I was saying before you turn on the mics, I rented this from Vudu. Vudu has a very specific window. You better watch this in 24 hours from the time you hit play. I think I stopped right after that. I paused it, came back the next day, and I went to go rewind a little bit to,
Catch
try
up.
to catch up. It played for about 2 minutes, and it was like, I'm on to you, and then just stopped. At that point, I was just like, fuck Voodoo, and I'm not renting anywhere else. I paid money already.
Yeah.
So I'm going off a memory from like 10 years ago.
Okay.
When I saw this.
So yeah, guy who wants to bone Ponytail Girl dies.
It was a Ponytail Girl. Is she the one who goes skinny dipping in the lake?
Yes. Seriously, why does anyone go skinny dipping in this lake? It's disgusting.
It's disgusting.
Don't
right?
do that in any lake. Any lake.
I was just like, oh, hey, there's boobs on the screen.
Yeah.
And then I was locked in for a little bit.
Yeah, because that's the only boobs you get. I think that's the only boobs you get.
Yeah. And I was,
Yeah.
we're in a different time now. And in that time when he's got them all together during the daytime, when he's like, here, back. And then she's just got the halter type, and it just nipples everywhere. And I'm like, what? Is this summertime? Why? It's not cold out.
Yeah, that even gets worse when we get to Girl Who Wants to Bone Wheelchair Guy. But what's weird is she's described as a tomboy. And I'm like, this is like the least tomboy woman I've ever... She's wearing crop tops, no bra. She has a little yappy mutt dog.
Yeah, I need to find me some more tomboys.
Big ponytail off to the side. I'm like, no, this is not tomboy.
At all.
But she dies off screen. You don't even know what the heck Jason does with her. She just like
Wasn't
screams
there somebody
and goes
else
away.
with us somewhere? No? All right, let's go.
Yeah, she screams and that's the last you see of her. Newsies and Newsies' girl die because they have sex, and then Jason just stabs through both of them because Jason's got some mad muscles.
Like, well, what else is he gonna do in there besides work out?
Yeah, just do chin-ups on trees and stuff. Yeah, he just stabs them right through both of them.
Yeah,
so,
that's a shout out to the testament of a good machete.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And then you get the wheelchair guy and the Girl Who Wants to Bone Wheelchair Guy.
So doesn't wheelchair guy get something in the head?
He gets a machete to the head.
Yeah.
Because they've agreed they're going to meet at a cabin and get together. And she's like, let me go change into something more comfortable. And she goes to her cabin and changes into a sweater.
Hey, that's very comfortable. It's very comfortable.
And a pair of just shit brown panties. Girl, you need to work on your lingerie game because you're wearing a wool sweater. It's raining outside and you're wearing a wool sweater. What are you doing?
Just get waterlogged on the
way.
way.
And then she puts corduroys on. I'm like, who are you dressing for?
Who thinks this is sex? Maybe he's got very odd tastes.
But while she's getting her wools on, wheelchair guy gets a machete to the head.
Right.
And while this is pretty spectacular, cinematically a kill, there's just no way he didn't see this big lumbering dude with a machete walking up beside him.
Right.
He does not react until the machete is in his head.
If I remember correctly, doesn't he like push him down?
Yeah, and
too?
then he just throws him down the stairs.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
He's like, wow, just that is not the way to handle the disabled.
No, it's not. It's not.
Screw your wheelchair.
And then she gets it a little while after that. Right?
Yeah. Excuse me. This is the most. This is the silliest one because she comes into the house and she finds Newsy and Newsy's girl dead.
Yeah, done.
And then she turns around and Jason has teleported back into the house, and she just like and backs away and just allows him to kill her.
Yeah, because what's she gonna do?
There's an open door. There isn't. She backs up to the wall right next to the open door.
No situational awareness.
Run? I don't
run to something, anything.
You got cords on. You can go for a while. You're not going to get cold.
Or
a sweater.
Or she's going to overheat from the inside out.
But yeah, she just backs into a corner and allows Jason to kill her.
Done and done. That's half the staff right there. That's over half the staff.
That's everyone but Paul and Ginny because they were in town drinking it up and talking about Jason and how urban legends and stuff like that. And they go back to the cabins and everything's dark and spooky and Ginny's like, this isn't right. Where is everybody? And then Jason shows up.
Everyone's right here.
Yeah, they find all the dead bodies, and then she goes downstairs, and you can see Jason in a corner, and she's like, there's somebody in the room. So go get out of the room.
Someone in the room, I'm out the room.
Yeah.
It's simple as that.
And Paul gets whacked in the head. Doesn't die, but gets whacked in the head, and then Ginny goes running through the woods.
Yeah.
And Jason chases her, and she runs right to his lair of doom because
Jason's lair of doom is featured very heavily in both these movies.
First she tries to drive away, but of course her craptastical VW bug won't start. Thankfully, they didn't have like Jason cutting battery wires or anything here.
A lot of important looking stuff in here. I don't know what any of it is.
But whatever.
Snip.
But she runs to his lair of doom and sees a shrine for his mom's dead head.
Yes, the Deadhead has
with
returned.
lit candles. Where's he getting these candles?
That is a very
Does he
good
make
question.
a trip to Yankee Candle Shop once a year?
Yeah, I gotta talk to my local wax maker.
Wow, this place stinks except for that lovely cinnamon smell over in the corner.
Oh, it's covering up the rotted flesh smell.
So, yeah, his mom's dead head is there, his dead head. And then her sweater.
That's
blood
right.
stains all
Yes,
over
the sweater from that she's wearing.
that she was wearing when she got killed. And Ginny uses her child psychology powers
to put
the
on
sweater.
the sweater.
And then when Jason comes back, she starts reprimanding him. Jason,
As if
this
it was
is your
Jason.
mother.
Yeah,
Yes.
I
You-
remember this.
Yeah, you stop now. And
Jason's like, hold on, what the fuck is this? Jason's like, I'm tripping balls right now.
damn, I knew I should have put those mushrooms I found in the forest in my stew. And just as he's like getting past her child psychology powers, Paul comes back in and whacks him over the head.
Yeah.
And you think, oh, yay, because he hits him with, I think it's an axe.
Yeah.
But you think, oh, yay, they're saved. And they go limping back to the cabins. And then they hear something outside and it's all spooky and the door opens and it's tomboy girl's stupid mutt.
Stupid mutt.
Which apparently survived the entire film.
Jason's like, well, I got no beef for this one.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not Michael Myers. I don't eat dogs. And then just when you think, oh, they're safe again. No, Jason comes popping back. And this time he does not have the burlap sack on.
Yeah, he's all faced out, right?
Yeah, because he's like, in this one, he's like half hillbilly Jason. He's got long hair. He's got like a mullet.
I mean, what else is he going to do? What else
Yeah,
he do out there?
Half his face is all disfigured and then half of it looks kind of normal.
Yeah.
And he attacks them, and then the screen just kind of fades to white. And then you fade up, and Ginny is being loaded into an ambulance. So
They skipped over all the good stuff.
I know. It's like, you don't know what happened to Paul. Because once again, Ginny's being loaded into the ambulance. It's just Paul. She says Paul like so many times in this film. But you don't see Paul getting loaded into an ambulance. So you don't know if Jason killed him. And of course, Jason has disappeared. So
Of course.
Because we have to have a part 3
Yeah.
in 3D.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Oh,
Eyeballs popping.
Oh, 80s.
Yeah, I know. 80s 3D. Oh, ouch.
So, yeah, that's right.
So
that's right.
Ginny survives, but you don't know if Paul does. It's kind of left there.
I mean, I guess we're audiences is left to assume that Paul
That
sacrificed.
Paul sacrificed
so.
himself, and
I mean,
Jason-
seeing how what Paul was like at the very beginning of the movie, it is a very
Yeah.
noble Paul thing to do.
I will save you.
Yeah, like he was like, "Hold on, Jason, I got some shining armor I brought with me. Let me just go
Yeah.
put this on real quick."
And that is the end of Friday the 13th, Part 2.
Part 2, it is in the end. Yeah, and the third one is where he snatches up that.
Where he
hockey
gets the
mask,
hockey
yeah.
mask, yes.
Oh, okay,
He
that's
just no, actually, one of the most odious characters, Shelley. Comic relief from Part 3. Oh, we didn't mention the comic relief here, but he doesn't die, so because he stays in town. So.
Yeah. So everybody that stayed in town was good.
Was good.
They came back to some wild
Yes,
shit.
they came back and was like, "Oh my god! Thank God we stayed at the bar and got drunk."
Which begs the question of, okay, so we don't know what happened with Paul and Jenny. We do know that Jenny's being loaded in the back.
Into an ambulance.
So who called the ambulance?
See, this is no, it's not explained. I don't know who called the. I'm
Who
assuming
called the
somebody came back
ambulance?
from the town.
Somebody came back. Why didn't they get killed?
Yeah. So I just.
Jason's just like, I'm tuckered,
done.
man. I'm
Yeah,
tired. I got
need
my
some
quota for
rest.
the year.
I can't kill all 20 of you.
Look,
I'm
didn't have
getting
enough
old,
time.
man. I'm getting old. So
Take her away. She can't identify me.
yeah, I'll just hunt her down in a few months.
At the beginning
Did
of
it
3.
before.
Yeah.
And that's the end of Friday the 13th, Part 2.
Now, your first time seeing this. Do you remember your first time seeing this?
Oh God, I think this is going way, way back. We rented 1, 2, and 3 from Blockbuster.
Hey,
They
I
were
worked at
videotapes.
Blockbuster. I worked there.
This was prior to DVD, and
Did you rewind?
We did.
All right,
Yeah, I
good.
was always good about rewinding.
You're a good woman, Carol.
And we did a slumber party where we watched 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
And we couldn't do the 3 in 3D because at that point they didn't. So it looked ridiculous when they put it on a video non-3D.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess something that's designed to be 3D. And
Yeah, particularly in the 80s because
Yeah.
you have just outlines of everything. And
Yeah.
it's just, but yeah, that was the first time I saw the first 3 Friday the 13th. And, you know, they are very good party movies.
Yes. Yeah. Put them on.
Put them on. You can just look at them occasionally, and it's like, oh, you know.
Yeah, there's boobs. She's next to that.
Yeah, exactly. So, are they good movies? No,
No.
not good movies. No. But the first one's not. No, the first one's actually not good. It's not. There's like, I suddenly remember the scene where Ralph is riding away from the camp on his bicycle, and it goes on for like 40 seconds. And you don't think 40 seconds is a long time until you're watching an old man ride away on a bicycle. Because, your first instinct is go,
like, all right, cut. No? Okay, come on, editor.
Okay, I guess we're going to see that whole bike ride.
Yeah, I never did understand why if you just survived a horrible ordeal in the first one, you're just going to go take a nap in a boat in a lake.
That always, yeah, it's like, well, that was terrible. Now for some rest.
But
did that actually happen?
That's a good point. I guess not because she just wakes up like,
Because did Jason come out of... Obviously he didn't, because there's a cop. She sees a cop on the other end. The cop doesn't see the kid dragging her under. So
I guess none of that actually happened. She was just dreaming all that. Yeah. She probably...
But she dreamed it, and then she dreamed it again in the first beginning of this film.
Yeah. A quick catch you up to speed on what happened in the last one.
Yeah, which is helpful. But even though it was like a year later...
It's true.
Are our memories that bad?
Remember the thing you saw just last year? If not, Evil Dead does the same thing in Evil Dead 2.
That's true.
Yeah, a little quick catch up there. So yeah, that is...
Friday the 13th Part 2.
That is Friday the 13th Part 2. This is...
So now we get to the reboot.
Yeah. Whoa, buddy. Whoa, buddy, the reboot.
So when they decided to reboot this thing, they obviously couldn't remake Friday the 13th because that doesn't have Jason.
Yeah, they went the wise route with.
Yeah, so they do what Friday the 13th Part 2 does. They show Mrs. Voorhees dying at the beginning of this film.
Yeah, that's only a 3-4 minute montage of events.
What I assume is Alice killing.
Yes. Faceless Alice.
They don't name her. Killing Mrs. Voorhees. Before we get started on the actual movie, you knew you were in trouble when you saw Platinum Dunes, didn't you?
Man, look, as soon as I saw Platinum Dunes, I was like, oh, let me strap in for this. Michael Bay, what were you thinking?
So we get that montage of Alice killing.
It's a real horror.
Yeah, Alice killing Mrs. Voorhees. And her head lying there. And apparently Jason is just off in the bushes watching this.
Like, damn, this is fucked up, yo.
And I'm like...
One of these days.
Again... What kind of mom are you? You're so worried about your kid, and he's like 10 feet away from you.
You killed my boy. No, I'm right here, Mom. You killed my boy.
So, and the head actually talks to him at this point. Kill for me, Jason.
That's right. Yeah. That's weird parenting.
Yeah, we got to... Mrs. Voorhees was a terrible mother. She blames everybody but herself.
Mr. Voorhees was an absentee dad, and he was a better parent than Mrs. Voorhees.
She just blames everybody but herself for her kids' problems. So Jason sees his mom gets killed.
Yes.
And grabs her head, apparently.
Because that's what kids do.
Because can't let that go to
waste. It's what Boba Fett does at the end of episode 2.
That's true.
Yeah, he grabs Django's head.
It's like,
helmet and all.
Ew. Thankfully, that cauterized with a lightsaber.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Thanks, Samuel Jackson, for that.
So, and then we jump forward 20 years, I think?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's 20 years later. And we get 5 people, and you think, oh, here's your 5 victims.
I thought this was very well done. This was a nice little fake out.
Yeah, because you have, again, names.
Archetypes.
Names are going to...
Just one-dimensional characters all around.
You have Whitney. That's the only way.
Right.
Whitney and Whitney's boyfriend. Mm-hmm. 2 people who just want to do nothing but fuck.
And then the
pothead.
The fifth wheel.
Yeah, the fifth wheel who's the reason they're on this trip, because they're looking for pot.
Also, who told them where this pot was? Who planted this pot, and why didn't Jason kill that guy?
And if this is such great weed and they know about it, how doesn't like 25 other people know? Everybody would be just descending on this forest going, there's just this high-grade weed growing in the wild. Yeah, we can sell it for like hundreds.
That was my thing. I assumed one guy planted it, told these people specifically, look, I got some good weed out here, so you guys go get this shit for me. And that's that. He didn't tell anybody but these people.
Why didn't Jason kill him?
I figure Dude was about his business. He's like, look, I know
Just
about
go
this
in there,
place.
grabbing the
I'm
weed,
going to go
leaving.
out there.
Yeah.
I'm going to plant this weed, and I'm out. And Jason probably woke up like, did I miss something? Wait, hold on a second. What? I feel like somebody was, oh, man, I missed something. Went back to sleep.
So they're looking for pot.
Yes.
And Whitney and her boyfriend decide to go look for, because they're talking about Camp Blood
Yes.
and how it's close by. And they decide they're going to go look for Camp Blood in the middle of the night.
Oh, so many bad decisions. So many bad decisions.
As you do. And then, of course, the two people who just want to fuck just go and fuck.
Yeah. Not the most comfortable place, but hey, when you got to get it on, when you're that age, whatever works.
And
Just give me a nice soft
so
bed.
this film has a couple just porno sex scenes.
Right. Like I'm watching. Like we don't need to see this.
No, we don't.
I'm gonna watch, but we
don't really need to see this.
They really want to get across.
Yes.
that these dudes are fucking it out.
So
Leave nothing to the imagination.
leader of the pack finds the pot, and then Jason finds him.
Yeah.
And
Good
then,
timing.
Yeah, Whitney and her boyfriend find Camp Crystal Lake, which Jason has kind of like made his lair.
Yeah, pretty much. He's like, this is my domain.
Yeah, and
Gaze
then
upon it.
they look through his stuff, find a locket.
Rude.
It's like, look, this picture looks like you. Apparently, Whitney looks like his mom.
I must have missed that because I was like, why did he kidnap this woman?
Yeah.
It didn't kill her? Okay, because it looks
He
like his
looks
mom.
like his mom.
Okay.
This looks like you. We should keep it. Yeah, steal
That's,
God.
yeah, that's
But Jason finds them
Rude and
because he
creepy.
teleports between the camp and he teleports a lot here.
yeah.
A lot.
They lean into it.
Yeah. But he teleports there, kills Whitney's boyfriend. Whitney runs out. And meanwhile, the two kids who just want to fuck,
Yep.
they're fucking and they get interrupted. And the guy, Richie, that's his name. His name is Richie.
Sure. If you say so.
Leaves the tent because they think it's
think it's pot guy.
Yeah, they think it's pot guy, and it's not. He steps into a bear trap.
You give it up for Jason. Give it up for Jason one time.
This is one of the most. Well, he actually goes and finds dead pot dude's body, and then he's running
Yes,
back
and he's
to.
running back,
and while
yeah.
he's running back to the camp,
That's when he
Jason
gets-
has strung up his girlfriend in her sleeping bag over the fire, which that needed some cooperation on her part. Come on.
Do you think so? I assume pop, knock her out, zip up the bag.
Okay, maybe he knocked her out, but he's got her strung up in her sleeping bag over the fire, and he's just roasting her. I
Yeah.
don't know, for later.
I assume he's doing that to lure that kid back out.
Yeah, because he lures the kid, and then he gets caught in a bear trap.
Yeah. This
Meanwhile,
Jason plots and schemes.
Yeah, this is some elaborate damn scheming
Yeah,
here.
this is one giant mousetrap is what Jason's got going on.
Finally, more kids I can put my little
Yeah.
Rube Goldbergs.
I've been waiting to test this shit out.
So kills her. Dude's stuck in a trap. Whitney comes back, tries to get him out, and we get this annoying like, oh, it's almost open, smack right back on your leg.
Yeah, that's not what you want.
No, and then Jason comes running up and machetes him in the head,
That is a great shot. I do
and
like
then
that shot.
kidnaps her, and then we get the title because you're like, wow, that was a short Friday. We just
Yeah,
didn't start.
it's 25 minutes or
It's
something
a
like
25-minute pre-credit scene.
that. Yeah, look, ahead of their time.
Yeah. So these weren't the camp counselors. You're like,
No.
Matter of fact, we don't even get camp counselors in this one.
Yeah, so this whole thing goes down, and I was just like, well, they're just killing kids off way too fast in this.
Yeah.
There's some other
That's what
kids
I
going to
was
show up
like-
to their, what's going on here?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, wow, this is gonna be like the shortest Friday the 13th movie, and then Friday the 13th popped up. I'm like, oh. God.
It does a lot, though. You know, think about it. It establishes that Jason ain't fucking around here.
Right.
Yeah, and that
Establishes that his mom's, this is same continuity. His mom's dead.
and that Whitney's been kidnapped.
Yeah, it's kidnapped. So we cut to several months later, and we meet our other group of
The next
victims.
unfortunates.
Oh, these people are so odious.
That is a perfect word for not all of them, just one in particular.
And one in particular, but they're all just very stereotypical. They're stereotypes. They are.
Yeah.
They're going up to.
There are multiple stereotypes.
Yeah. First, we're introduced to Clay, who is one of the Winchester boys.
Yes.
I don't watch Supernatural, so I'm not sure which Winchester boy he is.
Well, you have 50-50 chance.
Yeah. So
Sam Dean.
Sam Dean shows up. This is Whitney's brother, and he's looking for her.
Yeah. Which I thought was like, oh, this is a little bit different than what we usually get now.
Yeah. And I'm like, nobody else is looking for her? Come on, pretty white girl.
Right? This would be plastered all over the news.
It'd be like combing the forest. Jason would be like, this was a mistake. Just get out. Run.
Yeah. Looking up at the trees like, oh, I fucked this one up.
So he's looking for his sister, and he comes across our other group, our group, led by Trent, who is
the worst.
100% dick.
Yeah. Like, the others are all tolerable. And I was thinking about it when I was driving here. Like, for just no reason.
No,
he's just an asshole.
His parents are wealthy, so he's got to be a dick.
Yeah, pretty much.
So,
those people do exist.
Yeah. You got Trent and Trent's girlfriend, who apparently doesn't seem to like him all that well.
No. I think she's finally starting to see maybe this wasn't a good idea.
And I think her name is Julie. Again, the names are going to go bye-bye. I remember Trent because Trent was an asshole.
Such an asshole.
I'm pretty sure his girlfriend's name was Julie. I don't remember what the bimbo's name is.
I don't remember what the bimbo's name is. And then you got black guy and Asian guy.
Yeah, black guy and Asian guy. Asian guy's name is Chewy. Because that I remember.
Interesting
name.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was a nickname, but
Yeah.
Gotta hope so.
But Clay is looking for his sister and comes across these guys at a grocery store because he's trying to put up flyers. And Trent is a complete dick to him.
Yeah, just for no reason.
For no reason
He's
at
like, look,
all.
I'm just trying to find my sister, Jesus.
Yeah, and then they go off to Trent's parents' house, and Clay drives down the road on his motorcycle because he's a bad boy. And he drives to an old lady's house.
That old lady wanted no parts. No parts.
Yo,
we told you.
Here.
She's the version of Crazy Ralph, right?
Right. She is basically Crazy Ralph. Maybe that's Crazy Ralph's wife.
That's what it is. It's Mrs. Crazy Ralph.
Mrs. Crazy Ralph. And she's like, yeah, you come here, you die. We just want to be left alone. He wants to be left alone. Who wants to be left alone? Yeah.
I told you he might come kill me.
And then he meets Hillbilly Boy, who.
Yeah, I'm still not sure what his purpose in all of this was.
Other than fucking mannequins? I don't know.
You want to buy some weed?
Yeah. So, victim.
Yes, we come across victim number one.
So he comes there too. I mean, it's weird because the police pull him over and say, you need to stop doing this, Clay. How has he not visited these houses before? I mean, if he's been all over the place, enough that the police are like, stop doing this.
We know who you are.
People
we know
disappear all the time.
Yeah, this cop was not helpful in the least.
In the least. And but yeah, he goes and finds Hillbilly Boy who just wants to sell him some weed. No, I ain't saying your pretty sister. Too bad I didn't say your pretty sister.
Oh, come on, guy.
Oh, I know. Ugh.
This just gives backwoods people a bad name.
Yeah.
Also, backwoods people usually give backwoods people a bad name.
And then he shows up at Trent's house because that's the only three houses you have around Camp Crystal Lake is Crazy Ralph's wife's decrepit house, Hillbilly's decrepit farm, and this beautiful lakefront property.
Old Lake Wiley ass house. It's so we established that is giant lake, what I assume are multiple good lake front, and then a little bit inwards is like Crazy Ralph's wife.
And then somewhere around there is Camp Crystal Lake.
Yeah,
that is decrepit. That hasn't reopened at all since since his mother died.
Since the events of the montage.
Right. So he shows up at Trent's house, and of course Trent is a complete dick to him again.
Yeah.
And Julie's like, "Do you want some company walking around?"
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh, bold of you, Julie! Right, okay. Bold of you."
And I'm I'm going to look now because I'm calling her Julie, and I want to make sure that Jenna. Sorry, her name is Jenna. It began with a J.
Yeah, and then she just traipses
off. Yeah, she just goes off with him.
Which now it's justified.
Yeah.
Now this guy has a reason to kind of be a dick.
Yeah, she just goes off with him because, well, he's a Winchester boy and he's kind of cute. That's probably it.
All right. Well, you know what? Fair.
So, meanwhile, Trent, who obviously doesn't want people in this house, I don't know why he invited everybody.
Well, then again, to be fair, they were just fucking up his stuff too. Like the Crash's dads joined, they're spilling drinks everywhere.
Yeah, they're doing stupid, beer games inside rather than outside. They're putting their feet on the furniture.
So I can kind of understand that. But also, you should know these people you invited. You should know what they're about.
Yeah. So we also have two other characters that I completely forgot about because they're the first to go. And that's... wow. Their names are completely gone.
One-dimensional 1 and one-dimensional 2.
Chelsea and Lawrence.
Yes.
Chelsea and Lawrence.
Because they go and they take the boat.
They go, yeah. He goes,
don't drive my boat. It should have just been a smash cut right there.
I know. Because he's like, here, take my car. Because he's trying to prove to Jenna that I trust them now. Here, take my car.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, while you're there, fill up the gas cans. And he's basically telling them, hey, go gussy up my stuff.
Do servant work.
And don't take the boat out on the lake.
Which I guess is a good vehicle to now remove the car from the situation. So now they just can't jump in, which is obviously a nice car, which will start on the first time.
Right.
That's gone. It's off the board.
And probably has OnStar and everything else. So they go off and immediately take the boat
Although
out.
OnStar does not work in Ready or Not.
No, it does not. She tried. She tried.
To be fair.
Technically, it did work because she was not the owner of the car.
That's true. To her detriment, she
was not the
called
owner
for
of the
help
car.
to her detriment.
So they immediately take the boat out for a ride.
Yeah.
And so his girlfriend can go bare boobed water skiing.
Yeah, I was like, come on. Well, it's a slasher. You gotta throw a boob in there somewhere. I understand that, but this is a bit much.
This is like, doesn't that hurt?
That's what I was thinking the whole time.
The water spray kind of hurt.
Yeah, no. She was enjoying it though, apparently.
Yeah. So they take the boat out for a joyride. She falls because Jason
with the archer, the Rambo archery skills.
Archery just shoots that dude through the head.
I might like this Jason more than the other Jason.
He's like, fucking boating on my lake. He told you not to take that boat out.
I was taking a nap. I don't know where he got this bow and arrow from. Probably from the camp.
Right. He's got so much stuff at that camp.
Yeah.
We'll get to that in a moment. He's got so much stuff at that camp.
There's one thing in particular that I liked very much. We'll get there. But yeah, he gets an arrow through the back of the head to the eye.
Through the eye, yes. And then his girlfriend gets hit by the boat because she can't get out of the way of...
I thought that was going to be how she went out, but no. She goes out so much better.
Because she sees Jason and she freaks and she swims underneath the pier.
Yeah.
And she's trying to be quiet, but Jason knows all. And just machetes
right through the deck.
Through the deck and right through the head. And then we get, just for laughs, one last boob shot as he races her.
That's right. Yeah, that was definitely played for the laughs. That's when Leslie walked in when I was watching this. She's like, what are you? Oh.
So, meanwhile, Jenna and Clay are walking around because they're talking about his sister and his mom dying of cancer, and now his sister never came back. And they come across Camp Crystal Lake.
Imagine that.
Yeah, and here's where I was like, come on, because Jason comes back and he's got one of the bodies. I'm assuming it's the girl.
Yes.
Because he's bringing one of the bodies back to camp.
Mm-hmm. I assume it's the girl. You had to get her off that machete.
Yeah. And he flips a switch and lights go on. And I'm like...
Yeah, my first thought is, who's paying the bill?
Yeah, who's paying these damn power bills?
Jason's got a part-time job at that convenience store they stopped at.
Can you imagine getting the payment from the power company? Oh, God, it's from Camp Crystal Lake. I'm not opening it this time.
Let it go. Just let it go.
Just keep the power on. Don't even ask. Because and then I was like, well, maybe it's a generator, but you don't hear a generator.
No. Also, who would have taught him how to run a generator?
I mean, he was just like a kid when his mom died. And now he's wiring the entire place. He's got
Jason, the electrical engineer.
Yeah, alarm systems. Or maybe he's in a library and just like, oh, electrical engineer.
He's like, well, it's page 1. Let's go. I'm going to teach myself out here.
Well, this is modern day, so maybe he's got YouTube. How to wire your camp blood.
Now he's got a cell phone and he's got a coverage plan. Yeah, that was my first thought. Is who's
paying these bills? Because that was my first thought. It's like, why does he have lights? There's just no way. What's he got? Wi-Fi? What's his Wi-Fi code? Dead
Mommy.
counselors.
Dead counselors. Capital C in the counselors.
So they see him drag back this dead body.
Yes.
And they freak out.
Appropriately.
I'm having to to like run through. I watched this like a week and a half ago.
They go back to the house.
Yes.
Right?
They go back to the house to warn everybody.
Old dude was appropriate, like, all right, this is the third time I fucking ran into you.
Yeah.
With my girl now.
And now
he's got reason to be a little bit salty.
Yeah, but he doesn't because he's fucking bimbo.
Yeah.
And that was like, this scene was just like, oh, come on. It was so porno.
It was so porno, but also so dude, bro. You have such great boobs. You feel like, and that seems to me so in character for a dude like that. Like that's his compliments during sex.
Asshole, yes.
Yeah,
so
just great boobs.
Yeah, so he's revenge fucking bimbo.
Right.
Meanwhile, Chewie and
Black guy are just kind of out there drinking, doing their own thing.
They're drinking and smoking pot.
That's
because
right,
because
they brought out the bong.
The bong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's cheating on him with the bowl a couple days ago.
Yeah.
That was a nice little funny in there.
And they come. Chewie goes out because the lights go out.
Yes.
And Chewie goes to, I don't know, turn them back on. But you can't do that because Jason's an electrical engineer.
Yeah, he's a wizard. He's a tech wizard.
He took online courses at the University of Arizona. Graduate Jason.
Or Jason Voorhees. 3.2 GPA.
There you go. But he got his online degree. And he turns the lights off. Chewie goes out to, oh, no. We forgot.
He goes out to that little shit.
We forgot how he got his hockey mask because he goes to kill Hillbilly.
Oh, that's right. He killed Hillbilly before Hillbilly could have his fun with the mannequin there.
Yeah, Hillbilly's about to have fun with the mannequin that took his virginity.
Yeah, that part I was like, how? I need to see how that. You want to talk about something that's pornographic? That's what I want to see. How does happen, please?
And then Jason decides, oh, maybe this is the dude that's been telling people about the pot, and that's why everyone's coming. Because he offers to sell weed.
He just offered to sell the.
So maybe he's like, you're telling everybody to come here for the weed. I'm going to kill your ass. So Jason kills him.
Jason's just mad that people were stealing his weed stashes all the time.
Jason kills him and finds a hocky mask.
Yeah, just finds it just kind of laying around.
I don't know. Does this dude look like a hockey fan to you?
No. I really had to think about that for a second. No. But I figured Jason was like, he was already in the air and he's like, did he just say he's fucking that mannequin? Oh, now this guy's got to go. Wasn't even on Jason's radar until then. It's like, I'm going to handle this dude.
That's just wrong.
This is a free one for society.
So kills him, gets the hockey mask, and then goes to the house. Yeah. Turns off the lights. Chewie goes to go.
I guess was there like a generator, a backup generator in that room?
Yeah, he was going to try and go turn on the backup generator.
Yeah, and he finds the stash of the Maker's Mark, which I did in the same shit. I think there's Maker's and some good ass scotch in there.
Yeah. And then Jason finds him.
Maybe you haven't been fucking around with the hockey shit out there.
Yeah, no shit. And then because he sees Jason, he's got the hockey mask on. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm playing with your."
Yeah, is this yours? That was a good laugh for me. Oh my God. That was a good laugh, man.
Yeah, he's just out there playing hockey. But this is like an extended beatdown that Chewie gets before he's killed.
Right, Jason plays with his food a little bit in this joint.
Yeah.
And then Black Guy goes after Chewie.
Yeah, because Black Guy's like, "No, my boy's out there. I'm going to go save him."
I was like, okay.
That's actually very noble of you because everyone else, because at this point, Jenna and Clay have come back,
like, well,
and they're like, don't go out there. Don't go out there. He's gone. He's gone. He's like, no, I'm going out there. And of course, Jason just kind of puts him down for a little bit. He wounds him.
Yeah.
So
Jason is sneaky as fuck in this movie, man. He's like, where's the next one coming? Where's the next one coming?
Yeah, it wounds him, so he's screaming, and everybody's like, no, we can't go out there. We can't go out there. But then just throws an axe in his back.
Do you go out there to try to get him?
Because there's 4 of them, you can make an effort, and there's one Jason, there's 4 of you.
Yeah.
It's like, if we do this, if we think about this.
We plan this out.
We can do like a diversion over here while other 2 people try and get him or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you do. But then they actually get signal on one of their cell phones because there's no signal out here.
Of course.
And they call the police. Which you do.
Yeah, which you do.
And then the cop shows up and immediately gets killed by Jason, who is like at this point teleporting on top of the roof and down below.
Yeah, because he's standing on top of the house, and that's how he gets the cop, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it kills the cop, kills Bree. That's the bimbo.
There you go. There you go.
She had a bimbo name. Sorry, all you Brees out there.
No Brees that are patrons.
But he kills Bree. And then the last three are like, fuck this noise, we need to run.
Oh, now they say that.
Yeah, now they say that. And they run. And they split up. Trent runs to the road and actually stops a truck. Yes, because he stops a truck and then Jason, the truck.
Yeah, so this truck driver is just, why does he just say, hey, you looking for a ride? Get it? No, he's the creepiest truck driver ever. He just sticks his hand out and just kind of gives him the get in wave. Doesn't say anything, though. I'm with Trent. This dude's a little bit suspect. Is he the killer? We don't know. Maybe I shouldn't. And Jason's like, I'll solve that puzzle for you.
And and kills Trent. So and then we get Trent's like attached to the truck as the truck's driving down the road. It's like it's a drawn out scene at Trent time, but he's 100% dick, so he kind of deserves it.
Kind of deserves it. Not kind of, definitely deserves it. Also, truck driver, what's his situation? I thought there was a kid who was going to get in. Well, I guess he's not here anymore. Yeah.
What's he going to find when he goes back home? It's like, oh, shit.
There's that kid. He's accused of murder. Jason ruined this guy's life. Maybe if he hadn't been creepy in the first place.
There you go. And then Whitney and Clay, or not Whitney, Jenna and Clay. Go back to...
Are the last two left.
Are the last two left. Yeah. They find Jason's lair again and find Whitney.
Yes. And in that scene... which I'm sure is very purposeful when they're going through one of his hallways of goodies. You see a folded up wheelchair there.
Yeah.
And I was like, they're not
into port two.
Yeah.
That's wheelchair boys wheelchair.
Definitely. That's definitely wheelchair boys wheelchair. Which makes me assume that this is a continuity. This is more a next, not a reboot.
Yeah, something akin to that. So they find Whitney and actually get her out. And here's where Jenna dies. And this actually kind of surprised me.
Yeah, I was like, are three people going to make it out alive?
Yeah, I thought Jenna was kind of our final girl because she was being treated as the final girl. She was sweet.
She had more focus.
But no, she gets killed by Jason here.
Mm-hmm. They bait and switched you.
Yeah. And then it's just Clay and Whitney. And they lure Jason back to, like, Hillbilly Boy's house because don't they, like, put him through a thresher or something?
Yeah, there's that grinding thing, and they finally get that chain around his neck.
Yeah.
And, which almost doesn't work.
Whitney does the whole child psychology thing and stops Jason by pretending to be his mother.
Yes.
And then they finally kill Jason once they think they killed Jason.
So they think, yeah.
And then they dump his body in the lake. And I'm like, what are you doing?
What? As soon as that shit's wrapped up, you hit the road.
Not only that.
Somebody will find him.
What are you going to tell the cops? It's like, okay, so this big mutant dude killed all the guys that were mean to me, that everyone saw were mean to me.
Ooh, that's a good point. Now there's no body.
There's no body. What are you going to tell the cops?
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think about that.
You've just disposed of your evidence.
Of your alibi.
Yeah.
Here's the dude who's killing everybody.
Incriminate yourself. Why would you do that in the first place? I don't understand. He's dead. Let's just... bury him, I guess.
Nope. I am dead ass. Is he dead? All right, let's go.
Is he dead? Let's make sure. Chop his head off.
There you go. There you go. Hey, I found her. Where'd you find her? Don't ask stories. Don't ask questions. I found her. The end.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they dump his body into the lake. But then you get the jump because Jason comes dolphining
out of the water.
You call him Flipper.
And doesn't he get somebody here?
Well, he grabs Clay, and that was basically the whole screen goes to black.
Yeah, he grabs Clay, and I assume they either drag him down to the depths of nothingness.
And then poor Whitney is locked up back at Camp Blood again? Because we don't have any resolution. They never made a sequel to this one.
There's no way. She had to have escaped after that.
Yeah. Somebody has to escape. There has to be a final something or other.
You know what? I could stand for another one of these.
Really?
Yeah. Because I got so many open-ended questions now. Where did Jason get his degree from? What happened to Whitney?
Who paid for? Oh, he's probably got student debt just sitting there. He's really hoping for a Warren win. It's like, well, if Elizabeth Warren wins, I don't have to pay that student debt.
He's watching the debates on his shitty little phone. She's got points.
She's very good points. Needs to kill a few more people.
I assume he's just rifling through the pockets of everybody he kills. Another $3 for my student loans. $5 on this one.
This can go to the power bill. It's got a little Jason budget.
I need to sharpen up my machete. That's going to cost a little something. Need some more traps here and there. Yeah, I find this Jason way better than this one. I like my Jason a little bit.
Yeah, he's far more brutal.
Yeah, he's far more tricky and wily. The other one's more of a brute. This one's
Yeah.
more brutal.
Yeah. So
When it comes down to it, which one are you going with?
I'm going to go with the Friday the 13th Part 2, the
Really?
original, just for nostalgia's sake, I think.
Okay.
I think the reboot, it's not a horrible reboot as far as horror. Ooh, man, next month. I'm sorry.
Oh, we're getting into some shit next month.
But this is, I don't know. It was just a bit too over the top for me, I think.
Okay.
And maybe it's just because all of the women were just so.
Yeah.
There was no real. Like in Friday the 13th Part 2, I like Ginny because she screams Paul a lot, but she's smart and
Yeah.
she actually kind of thinks her way out of a
She
situation.
does stuff.
Yeah, she does stuff.
I mean, but putting on the sweater, acting like Jason Mom is the most overiest of
Yeah.
moves.
Here, the girls don't seem to do anything unless Clay is with them.
Right. It seems like for the most part they're there specifically to get boned down
Yeah.
and then killed later
Right.
on. Yeah.
So and
No
and
agency.
Whitney attempts to get herself out, but she doesn't seem to be able to do anything until her brother shows up.
Right. Well, I mean, but that kind of goes from despair of why try
Yeah.
to hope. Oh, I could.
True. But I don't know. I like my final girls who actually have a little bit of guts. Just
Yeah.
not like all over the floor. But like
Well, that's why they're the final girl.
I'm going to try and do something.
Yeah. Yeah.
But neither film is good.
Yeah, let's get that straight.
Neither film is good.
Neither one's good. I think I got to go with the reboot, just because I like that Jason more.
Yeah,
Like,
it is a good Jason.
it's a great Jason, man. He has some shit planned up his sleeves. For
Yeah.
that. He's like, I got bear traps. I got bows and arrows. I got some shit for their asses this time around. Like I assume he went through the events of Friday the 13th Part 2, and he's like, I'm gonna have to stock up. One got away. I'm gonna have to stock
yeah,
up.
we're
on
gonna
some
have to
stuff.
stock up, make sure nobody gets away this time.
So
Get away from my weed.
man just wants to protect his land. Stand my ground, officer. That's all I was doing. This is not Florida, Jason. So yeah, next month
Next month,
we're gonna do an all Halloween horror theme
Yeah.
type joint.
one a week.
One a week, man. One a week. So I think the way this is going to work is 2 of them will be strictly for you patrons that are listening right now, and then 2 will be released to the public. I think we'll probably just alternate.
Yeah. Do we want to
Yeah.
announce titles?
Sure, if you have them in front of you, because
I do.
don't. Okay,
I do
cool.
actually. So
one of us is professional.
Yeah, the ones we're going to do for the month of October are Poltergeist, Dawn of the Dead, Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeesh.
Have you seen either?
I've seen parts of both.
Okay, and oh my God, Halloween,
And Halloween, yes, and Halloween.
which means I gets to sit through the Rob Zombie shit again.
Yes. Hey.
Yay.
Yay. So yeah, that's gonna be
so
it's gonna
yeah.
be a fun-filled October we got coming
And
up.
I apologize because some of these movies are yikes.
Yikes. Hey, well, like I said before we started filming, we're covering some blind spots that I had
Yeah.
here. So horror was never really my thing. So I've just doing this with you, I've watched more horror in this 1 year than I have
I
in
could
quite some time.
probably record Halloween without watching either film because I know them so well.
All right, then. Well, that's
But
gonna be
yeah,
interesting.
we'll do that. But Halloween, I think we'll probably save that for the last one.
The
because
last
it's-
one, yes,
because
gotta
it's
be.
Halloween.
Exactly. All right, then. And we got this up on Friday the 13th. So
Cool.
Oh, look at us being all thematic.
I
and
know.
whatnot. Until then, you guys take it easy and have a good one.